Hello and welcome back aboard the good airship Hopium. I am your host and Captain Snappydude speaking, and as always, I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I am glad to have you aboard. Today, we're going to be looking at a new update for Gigantic Rampage Edition, which is something I posted about last weekend, maybe getting eventually, and we're getting one this week, so hey, that's something. It should be noted, though, that the impression I get from this update does not include ranked mode. So the impression I get from this is that there's going to be another update coming with ranked mode that will probably cover more stuff. But this is a big doozy of an update, folks. So let's dive in. This is a long one. So, update notes for 6.7.24. We pushed a patch on all platforms, which include many hero balancing and other changes. That's really cool. Hello, Gigantic fans. We've released another patch today that fixes multiple issues which the team has been working on in the past few weeks. Check further below for full patch notes. As always, we'd like to thank you for your continued support, showing your love both by competing in the server and by sending us feedback and bug reports. We're still working on further fixes, which we're aiming to implement later this month. As you know, ranked mode is still in the works too, so be on the lookout for some news on that front soon. With today's update, you'll also be able to don the classic Margrave and Griselma skins in your matches that we've promised you a while ago. Margrave's The Fallen Classic and Griselma's The Summoner Classic skins have been added, unlocked for free, and are ready to be equipped, while both their classic variants have also been added and can be unlocked with crowns to enjoy. This have been unlocked for free and already they're classic. Oh, okay, so the variant. Okay, I was confused there for a second. For some reason, the word variant just went way past my head. I was like, how are the skins unlocked and not unlocked? Okay, but the variants are locked, but the base form of the classic skins are unlocked. I like this a lot because I really like Margrave's classic skin. It's very simple. It's stripped back. It's just flat iron. It feels like Margrave, right? Like, he's dark and gritty. He's not ornamental. He shouldn't have all these fancy spikes and shit. He is dark. He is from hell. He just wants basic plate mail that may look a little ugly and very plain, but that's the type of fucking character he is, and I love that. That being said, sorry guys, I gotta drink some water here. This is a long one, like I said. Overall, what they're saying up here, again, I'm happy that they're continuing to support the game. I am. I really am. I think it's nice. It shows support for the game. But I think the fact that the game is in the state that it's in, and even though this is the Airship Hopium, and even though I try to be Mr. fucking positive, and even though I try to not chime in with the naysayers on the Discord, I am going to be a little. I am going to say this game probably should have had more beta testing, or gone into like an early access mode. I think they should have just done a closed beta with all the people they had in the closed betas. I think that would have been perfect. I think they could have hammered out 90% of this, give it another 6 months before they launched it, and just, had, a larger test pool. Maybe bring in some of the people from the Xbox version. I'm sure they have some of those accounts. They have to have a list somewhere of those accounts, I would assume. And bring in some of the, and they could have done some kind of testing, and instead we got nothing. Or maybe do like an invite-only system, something. But now we're in this mess where the game is kind of almost in a beta state when it's already out, and it just fucking, it sucks, guys. It does. It does. We shouldn't be in this state. It's sad that we have to be in this state. It's sad that the player kind of has to be where it's at. Hopefully, though, these continued improvements, hopefully, by the time we get to ranked mode, things are back. So anyway, let's look at the patch notes. Let's go down them. New content. Added classic skins for Margrave and Griselma. General fixes. Fixed involuntary pinging when navigating using the D-pad in multiple menus. I like that one. That one is nice. That happens a lot. I didn't think it was that big of an issue. Like, that was like the bottom of the list of fixes that I really gave a shit about. It might be an issue though that was higher priority if they're trying to get ranked off the ground, because you don't want pinging is something that will be very important come ranked being out, when you have people trying to squad up and trying to communicate more and trying to play at a more competitive level. Pinging will be very important, and maybe that's why they wanted to get rid of that. But hey, that's just a theory. A Snappydude theory. Next up, we have fixed the upgrade UI talent. Category couldn't be accessed while using mouse and keyboard. Interesting, I didn't even know that was a thing. Fixed several collision issues on Picaro Bay, Siren Strand, Heaven's Ward, Embers Grove, and Ghost. I'm guessing that's going to say Reef, but it doesn't say Reef. It just says Ghost. It's possible that the formatting they used on this cut it off. But I wouldn't think so, because down here they have two... It's weird, they must have just forgot to write Reef, but whatever, I guess we'll just go on. Next up, fixed infernal portals on Siren Strand and Ghost Reef. Fixed rush rewards given to the first selected hero instead of the most played hero. I like that. Is good. That is a good one. I like that. Because it's kind of annoying that if I like select, say, like Mozu, or if I accidentally, this is probably a more realistic version of what happens here, is Snappy's not paying attention, he queues into a match, and accidentally ends up on a character that he doesn't like, so I end up on, like, I don't know, who's somebody that I would just never fucking play as? Trip. I don't know. If I end up on Trip, because all my other characters are taken, and I'm trying to find a character, and I just run out of time, or I'm not paying attention, because, I don't know, a squirrel gets into my house and attacks me, and I look back, and oh shit, I'm in the match as Trip. And then I switch to Mozu. It's kind of fucking annoying when I don't get shit for Mozu. When I play the whole match as Mozu, besides literally 2 seconds before I switch, it's kind of dumb. So I'm glad they're changing that. Fixed rush rewards, first selected hero, instead of the most played. That's awesome. I'm glad they're switching it to that. Add a quit match button for custom games. That's cool. It's kind of dumb that they didn't have that. I didn't know. I haven't played any custom games. I'm not saying somebody should invite me to one of these tournaments y'all be having, but if more tournaments happen at some point, if the game pops back off, somebody feel free to invite me. I'll play Mozu and do terribly through the whole thing, and then you'll be like, why the fuck did we invite this guy? Anyway, fixed controller vertical sensitivity settings, only allowing 1 to 10. Only allowing 1 and 10. I hope that means 1 through 10, and they just wrote it wrong, because if it only allows 1 and 10, that's freaking insane. Well, I'm glad they fixed that, if that actually is the case and they wrote it correctly. Fixed free cosmetics showing an incorrect cost on the unlock pop-up. Fixed new match requeue failing when a crew member is still in the match summary. Fixed that not accepting a custom game kicked players back to the start screen. Fixed several crashes. I guess it just must be several reasons the game was crashing. Fixed that not accepting a custom match game kicks players back to the start. Fixed new match requeuing. That's all good. You know, it's making stuff easier. The amount of work they're putting into this game, considering how low the player count is dipped, is amazing to me. And to me, all of this just continues to show, and I've said this on stream before, I really feel like somebody at Gearbox cares about the idea of a hero shooter MOBA. And maybe they don't have all of the resources or backing to fully support a game like this the way they should. But it feels like, to me, that somebody at Gearbox likes this idea, wants it to happen, and is at least trying to do what they can to to get something out there. I feel like that was the purpose of Battleborn. I feel like that's the only reason you bring this game back, and why I keep supporting it. I keep saying that. They made 99% of their money in the first probably 48 hours from old fans, and now it's probably just this very small stream that is basically insignificant. They're probably paying more to the developers right now to continue working on this game than they're making off sales at this point. So, and they've probably been that way since about the end of the first week. Since about the end of the first week or 2 weeks, they've probably been paying more than they've been bringing in. So why? Why keep funding this? I mean, it's a small team, granted, you're not paying a lot, but maybe that's why. If you really have a passion for this, and you really think there is a market for this type of game, maybe whether or not this game succeeds isn't the point. Maybe this is more of a market study for somebody at Gearbox to show, hey, there is support, there is interest for a game like this. I don't know. That's just me being hopium. Let's keep going. On to balance changes. Rush mode, jump pads, back to the airship are now disabled while in combat. That kind of, I'm mixed on that. It's a good change, but them being able to jump off of them while in combat was actually kind of a neat little exploit that you could do, because not a lot of people did it. Like, I don't think I ever had anybody do it when I was fighting them, but I've done it tons of times. So maybe it's just the good players were figuring it out and it was becoming a thing. But the one thing that I think about that, when I really think about it, is about the only times I've ever done that are when somebody is pushing into the spawn, like in almost a spawn campy type of way. So I haven't, like, because how often are you that far into your back line that you're just running and jumping up to the airship? It's normally when somebody chases you all the way back there. And so I don't think having it as an option is that bad, because at least in those situations where you're getting spawn camped really heavily and the other team is just being very oppressive and they're just completely beating you down, at least you have some kind of option to sort of give you a small advantage. It's also really, sometimes it takes a while to get out of combat off of your fucking character, and I've been using that a lot to go back up to the jump pad, to go back up to the airship right before Clash, heal up. Snappydude tip of the day. Jump up to the airship once the Clash meter starts counting down. If you're on the defending side, jump up to your airship and sit up there. Your health regenerates way faster than it's going to at any tree, and then jump down and you're basically right on top of your guardian anyway. Fun tip. That's what I've been doing, and it helps, because when you jump back down, if you time it right, you heal a lot faster and you regen stuff a lot faster, because once you get up there, you automatically go out of combat anyway, and your health comes back up. And then you can jump back down right on top of the fight, and you're good to go. Anyway, let's continue. General. Increased summon time for baby creatures from 3 seconds to 5 seconds. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like, I don't know. I haven't been playing enough Clash to really know how I feel about that. I feel like creature summoning sometimes is a little slow anyway. It's one of the major features of the game, and I don't know. I don't know. I don't play Clash at a competitive enough level right now to really have an opinion on this. This after the player finishes summoning, but before the creature can move, attack, etc. Increased respawn time when another player dies, from 0 seconds to 2 seconds. So when another player dies, your respawn timer is going to go up by 2 seconds. I believe this was a thing in the original game, and I think they had taken it out. And again, this is something that's kind of interesting, because I don't necessarily know if I agree with it as a broad strokes update. It's something that could be fantastic, right? It's something that could be awesome. But does it fit every game type? And that's what I don't know about, because this basically just makes it sound like it's going to be all game types. I don't know if this change makes sense for Rush. For Clash, I think it makes sense, because Clash is a very different game, and I think Clash having the respawn timers penalize you for not playing as a team and for multiple people on the team dying at one time, I think makes sense. I don't know if it makes sense for Rush. But hey. We'll see. 2 seconds isn't that big of a deal. It is when you're getting just whomped. Kajir fixes. Fixed dodge attack hitting twice. Well, that's good. LMB, Organ Pierce. Fixed bleed to actually be 36 damage per second. Cooldown for... It doesn't say... It just says E, so I'm going to guess this is the E skill. From 25 to 20 seconds. Copy damage from 40 down to 35 seconds. Boarding crew copy damage from 25 to 20. Toxic shock went from 85 to 60. Toxic shock max stacks from 7 to 6. Copies now walk and sprint when Kajir does so. It's a lot of nerfs for Kajir. He probably deserved them. Roland RMB. Burning bolus damage from 120 down to 80. Ooh, that's a steep nerf. That's like, what, a quarter knocked off? It's a lot. It's a third. I'm bad at math. That's why I'm the captain of an airship, not a math teacher. Focus reduced damage to 600, 800, and 1,100. I wish it showed the damage values before, because it doesn't say what the damage values were before for his move at the different stages. T-Mot. More nerfs for T-Mot, thank God. RMB talent no longer applies Burn to AoE hits. Still does so for direct hits. I like that. I think that's a good way to balance T-Mot's RMB. It makes sense, you know. Just do it to the people that get hit with the missiles, not the people that get hit with the AoE from the missiles. I think that's the fairest way to do it. It still makes the move. The move is like her homing missiles are still incredibly. They're fun. They're good. I like them. They're solid. But you don't want her to be so busted. I'm honestly surprised T-Mot didn't receive a few more nerfs. Woo E talent tongue tied. Change to decrease tongue's cooldown by 2 seconds. And increased focus gain during clash. While retaining the pull effect of tongue. Fix the talent. This is another tongue-tied. Fix the talent. Introduced bugs for certain upgrades. Imani. F. Concentration. Reduced the focus gain boost 20% to 15%. Q. Blast radius. Reduced focus gain 4.4% to 3.2%. Q. Blast radius no longer applies Burn AoE. Burn to AoE hits. Only direct hits. And I think that's a very sensible way to negate some of that stuff. Making it so that the secondary effect only applies to the direct hit instead of the AoE on moves like that, I think it's a very simple change, but it could be very effective for nerfing it, because then, I mean, you still have the AoE damage, but you just don't have the AoEs throwing out all these other status effects onto other people. So you get a little bit of good, but it's just not quite as much good. Margrave. F. Concentration. Reduced focus gain boost 20% to 15. HK LMB. Heavily reduced the recoil in both regular and fortified modes. Voden Q spores. Imitation poison spores. Arrow damage 75 to 150. What? What? I just got wrecked by a Voden last night, man, in this match. And now you're telling me this poison spore arrow damage is going from... They're doubling it. Why would you double any... I will never understand for the life of me, when I play any game, why any developer thinks large changes to a character are almost never necessary. Doubling it is a lot. That is a lot. I'm just... Wow. That's a lot. That's a big change. In my opinion, I prefer it when they do small incremental change. Like, if it takes 10 patches to get somebody where they're at, but at least they end up balanced, that's good. But man, doubling it, that's a strong move, a strong position. Man, I hope that doesn't backfire. I really do. But that doubling it seems like something that could end up with Voden being just like fucking just monstrous. But hopefully not. I mean, I don't play Voden a lot. Maybe you needed the doubling. Somebody tell me in the comments below that I'm wrong and that you probably need it tripled or some shit. Anyway, Q talent fixed for all upgrades. Now always fires one extra arrow regardless of upgrades chosen. Ramsey, lasting effects. Poison damage from 25 to 35 per second. Ezrin Gall. I like Ezrin. He's a cool guy. I've gotten better with him. I've backed off playing him a little bit, though. I've really been enjoying HK, so he's kind of become my fourth default character. Fixed and now correctly interrupts on hit. Cool. That's not as many upgrades as I thought would come to Ezrin. Considering Ezrin and Griselma are considered like the bottom tier characters, I thought they would get more love in this, and there's nothing for Griselma. And this Ezrin one is cool, but it's not as much as I thought we would be getting. LMB and RMB on Uru range has gone up 2 meters, so not a lot, but a little bit. I don't know if Uru needed range buffs, but you know, here we are. I think he's consistently one of the better ranged DPS characters, but you know, that's just my opinion. As a guy who doesn't even fucking play him. Hero bug fixes, let's go. Rush mode fixes. Fixed the Clash talent not being active on most Rush maps. Well, that's good. Rutger fixed shield regenerating immediately while receiving any kind of healing. That's good. Fixed Q's cooldown being too high when cancelled while Burrow is active. Fixed Q Salt of the Earth restoring more stamina than intended. Fixed Q burrowed time only extending the shield regain duration while not increasing the amount of shield restored. Those are all solid things, and it sounds like some of them are kind of it sounds like they were glitches, but it sounds like they were glitches that were probably unintentionally buffing Rutger a little bit higher than he should have been. Ashling, here we go. Fixed most instances of Cador teleporting underneath the map. I haven't seen that. That's funny, though. Fixed focus skill, teleporting Sir Cador to Ashling instead of the target. I've been playing with Ash a little bit, and I haven't seen either of those, but that's cool. I'm glad they fixed them. Voden, fixed E-recovery time upgrade not working correctly. The Margrave, fixed E-talent not working with upgrades. Zandora, fixed Q Rainbow Dash not pushed enemies in combat. Additional fixes, many other 102 UI and text fixes. Fixed bangs on power circles appearing too high and out of view. Fixed players earning upgrade points incorrectly after rejoining a match. Fixed practice arena jump pads not functioning for a few seconds when entering the arena. Fixed Trips Stark reality skin graphical issues. Fixed rewards sometimes not appearing for levels above 100. I'm above level 100, and I don't know if I've ever seen that. Maybe I have. I feel like maybe I have a couple of times, and I just don't pay attention, because I don't pay attention to my rewards after matches anymore. I have all the skins and stuff that I want, so and all the emotes and stuff, which I don't really use my emotes, so it doesn't really matter. But I just don't have any skins or anything that I really want at this point. You know, it's what it is. Update several skill descriptions to better explain how the skill works. Okay, I'm okay with that. Fixed several weird bot behaviors. Fixed incorrect behaviors for weird bot behavior. Bots are fucking weird in this game. I don't know if anybody who hasn't played bot matches, like a full bot match is like the weirdest fucking thing in this game. Like they do some weird shit. Like there's times they'll just sit at the back of the map and not do anything until you push forward and try to like take a point, and then that seems to trigger them. Otherwise they'll just sit and just do nothing, and it's just some weird shit, man. Like weird bot behaviors could be a whole slew of fucking things. It's like they just don't have any aggro of their own. Like they don't just have any motivation to go out and do anything. It's just weird. Like I don't know. So who knows what weird bot behaviors they're talking about? In player matches, you don't notice that shit because there's so many players going around, and I think the bots are triggered by what the players are doing. So when you have a bunch of players on a map, a bot is not as noticeable because it's triggered by you going off to take points and stuff like that. But when you're just on a map with only bots and you're the only one triggering stuff, it's really you can notice some of their weird behaviors. Like really, it's some weird shit. So it makes me wonder what weird behaviors they've fixed. Fixed incorrect behavior for a few fortunes from Trip, Griselma, and Rutger. Fixed several statistics showing incorrectly in the profile screen. And that's it, guys. That's everything we have in this patch, which is huge. This is I think the biggest, longest patch notes I've ever done for this game. Yeah, wow. That was a lot. Holy shit. I don't know what else to... This is already a really long video. But holy shit, man. That was a lot. Well, it was a lot of balanced stuff. It was. And a lot of glitches and stuff like that. It's so complicated right now because I want to be hopeful. Like this is a good update, and I hope they keep updating the game. But man, it's gonna take a lot more than some. I mean, who knows? I don't want to be too negative. I hope they can turn the game around. I hope some of you that are sitting on the fence waiting for these updates. I'm not gonna tell you to come back right now. But let's wait, let's see. Some of you who are sitting on the fence, who are just watching, creators like me, and North Star, and Falco and stuff. I hope you come back for Ranked. I do. I hope when Ranked comes out, I hope we get, between now and then, I hope the patches we get bring the game into a good enough state that some of you want to come back and give the game a second chance. And I hope you will. Tell me in the comments below if, any of these changes excite you. If you're planning on at least giving the game one more chance when Ranked mode comes out. And I hope you do. I hope you do. Gigantic deserves it. We have other stuff coming out. Marvel Heroes is coming out. What's that Valve game that I can't think of the right now? The Valve moba shooter is coming out. There's other games coming out in this genre, but none of them, I don't think, Marvel Rivals a little bit has some of the art style touches, I think, that kind of make me feel like Gigantic. But I don't think the gameplay and the overall game structure has the depth of Gigantic. And then on the other side, we have Valve's thing, and that is that looks like it has some of the depth, but the character design in the world, just they don't look bad, but they don't have the same charm as Gigantic to me. And it's weird because they both hit different things that Gigantic hits. Gigantic just covers, it's just got such a good umbrella, and I really want to see this game succeed. And I want to see them pull a No Man's Sky, man. I do. I want to be sitting here 6 months from now talking about how Gigantic is slowly coming back to life and rank mode saved the game, and how we have all these new players coming in. I just don't think we're going to get there. But man, I want to be there. And I really do. I hope you guys come back for ranked mode. I don't know what's playing right now. Most of this will be over top of an HK match it was a pretty good HK match. Thank you for watching. Tell me your thoughts on the patch below. Will you come back for ranked mode? Please tell me you'll come back for ranked mode. Snappydude out, y'all. Bye.